Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Retro Cartoon Rewatch with Damien G and Hokage22, where we now strictly watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged until we're sick of it. I
Spoiler
know
alert,
a lot of people
never.
who ask me, never. Over the weekend, some people did ask, hey, are you taking requests for other cartoons? And I said, yes, I am. But the future of this show for the time being, I want to say maybe over the course of season 3 of this show and the movies, we will be transitioning out of I will be transitioning out of the lead commentator role, and I was going to do a whole intro and fucking Wade just pops up. You know what? Thought that was wheat when it popped up. Tom, and somewhere along the line, the word is popping. Here we go.
There it is.
Yeah, I had this whole intro and then fucking Wade sabotaged it. So anyway, welcome to the Retro Cartoon Rewatch, or otherwise known now as the Dragon Ball Z Abridged Rewatch. And Wade is a fixture of the programming who comes in, does a run-in, drops some dad joke supreme, and then saunters on out of here as if nobody fucking saw him do it. So he's part of the furniture at this point.
We love it. Well, I don't know if you do, but I definitely love it.
Well, I've had to deal with it for almost a decade now, so love is love. I love him. You know, that's my brother. But you know, the jokes are they might be a different story. Let's just say that. We left off. Conversely, we left off on episode 36, apparently, which you and I have been going back and forth for the last 10 minutes about what the last episode was. And again, for those that are with us on Saturday, I don't remember doing it. I remember showing y'all my snacks, but I don't remember us actually going in and watching episode 35. So you could have fooled me.
To be fair, we were bullshitting most of that night. We were just having fun.
Right. I think that's probably what it is. I do recall the snacks, you know, the cheese balls, which I've only had a third of, so we're doing good so far. Fuck you to my diet.
Damn.
You'll laugh about this because I wound up buying 4 boxes of cereal.
What
because
kind?
of Golden Graham, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruit Loop, no, not Fruit Loops, Tricks. There's one more, and it escapes me. But yeah, to go along with my Honey Nut Cheerios. But yeah, so suffice it to say, I've had the diet of a 12-year-old boy the last couple days. Oh, well, hey, Damien shouldn't find my dad jokes funny, but he should. Just saying. I'm just gonna star that, and every time I want, it's gonna be at the top of the screen every single time. So there's that.
If that was the dad joke, you've already done that one, Wade.
You've done that one, bro. You've already done that one.
But you gotta be something different, man.
Yeah, gotta do something different. He left it off with a he. So the last we left off, we were talking about, I believe we were talking about the usefulness of certain people on the show and in Dragon Ball. And it's like, what are you doing here? Like, what are you even doing here? And
why are you even here?
Why are you even here? Yamcha, especially, at least Chaozu gets left behind on purpose, you know, because.
Yeah. And I remember we were discussing the battle IQ of Goku as to why he let Krillin take Yamcha and not Tien or Piccolo. I remember that discussion.
I do remember that discussion now that you've brought it up. And the logic is still sound because as we see later on this season, Piccolo does show, you know, why he was allowed to stay, as it were. Even though in this next episode, he don't look too good, but we'll get to that. So without further ado, we're going to give you episode 36, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, where Goku's about to start fighting Android 19, and things may not be going his way. Let's just say that. And this part is muted out for copyright. There you go.
Are you afraid? It's okay, you know, to feel that creeping, seizing fear. Not everyone faces their death so openly. I'll admit, your composure is admirable, even in the face of your inevitable demise. Let's gaze squarely on.
Ah, here it comes.
Oh, is it an actual? Oh, yeah.
So Yamcha walks into a bar. Just kidding. He was thrown into it by Nappa.
That's pretty good. I like that one. But I have one that's
that was a meh.
I have one that's on the lines of that. It's kind of stupid. Broly walked into a bar. The bar said, "Ow."
About to kick you off the show.
I told you it was stupid.
You still keep calm, cool, and oh, for God's sakes, 19, throw a fucking punch!
Ow, ow, ow. It reminds me of season 2 when Goku kept laughing in the healing tank and he would go, ow, ow, ow. And as we've referenced before on the show, I have been saying in my personal life, you put the lime in the coconut and drink them both up. You know why I said it the other day? Because my dumbass went to CVS and I bought coconut body wash. And what's the first thing out of my mouth when I'm buying it? You put the lime in the coconut and drink them both up. Idiot. Wait till he writes down joke for later. Got it. I'm assuming he writes your joke down for later. Great.
I'm giving him material.
That's great.
I'm happy about that.
Just good job. Good job. Come on, let's go.
I hate that.
What are you even here?
The intros.
Mr. Piccolo, what have we missed?
Well, your father is currently handing the Pillsbury Doughbot its generous white ass.
Yes, well, your feeble understanding of our abilities.
Okay, real talk. And this gets brought up by the androids later. By the way, sorry, my bad. There you go. By the way, kids, these aren't the real androids, which we're going to find out in about an episode or two. Why? Dr. Giro, why? Why did you make one yourself into an android, which is barely talked about in like 2 episodes? But also, why would you? I'm not trying to body shame an android or a cyborg here, but why do you make a fat cyborg?
That is a good question because
I know the reason why it's animated, why Toriyama Sensei animated it that way. It was easier to draw, but no.
Not to mention, we briefly talked about this, that it's the least intimidating design for an android. Like androids 16, 17, and 18 all look intimidating because they have the appearance of like
they look sinister.
They look sinister. And what made it worse is that they have the facial expressions of teenagers, innocent, but at the same time, deadly. With Dr. Giro and Android 19, that's not intimidating. Even Dr. Giro, who somehow turned himself into an android by taking his brain out of his own body, which is a discussion that we don't know how that happened, and just made himself a cyborg version of his own body. Even that's not intimidating. What was Toriyama thinking?
It's briefly referenced. And not effectively. Nowhere near effectively.
Nope. I'm not a big fan of these androids at all.
Say it again?
I'm just not a big fan of these androids at all. I'm glad, spoilers, that they get killed off fairly quickly here. But Toriyama, what were you thinking?
Well, and also the story goes is that the editor of Dragon Ball, or I should say Toriyama's editors, did not think these two androids were it. Right? They didn't have the oomph to be the big bad when we just dealt with Vegeta, Nappa, Frieza, Raditz, and then to your point, you get a senior citizen Rot and the Pillsbury Doughbot, to quote Piccolo. Obviously, if I'm an editor or I'm a producer, I'm over here looking at it thinking, no. I understand. Okay, so I understand, and this will be talked about. Why? But we never see him. I'm thinking about the fact that Dr. Gero as a character belongs here because his arc is explained, going all the way back to Dragon Ball. Always saw Dragon Ball. Who dis, right? But we don't see Dr. Gero in Dragon Ball. He's the equivalent of the Spot in the second Spider-Man movie, the Spider-Verse movie, where he's just a throwaway character in the first Spider-Verse film, and he becomes the main villain in the second film. So it's a similar trope. Obviously, this came out first, and I hear Thor yelling in the background.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
B. 19! Attack from the left! No,
my left!
As I was saying, 19 is merely lulling your comrade into a false sense of security.
Sure he is.
And once we... 19, dodge!
Beginning dodge protocol.
Why is dodging a subroutine? It's not...
In this show, dodging is optional. Optional.
Dodging is optional, but attacking and blocking required.
Correct. And standing around, which we also uncover.
Yes.
And letting people power up.
What?
Regardless, once we've secured our vantage point, Android 19 will...
It's a good point, Piccolo, looking at Gohan. Oh, so dodging's a subroutine. It's not important, huh? Oh, okay.
move in for the kill, and your precious son Goku will feel the full sting of my vengeance.
Wow.
A moment. 19, would you stop messing around? Oh, that's distressing. 19, respond immediately. 19, what are you, in safe mode? Start responding this instant before I shove my boot up your ass!
Because he said my boot.
He said boot up.
Yeah. Boot up.
Now, even though we've just discussed that we do not like these androids because they're not intimidating. And even in OG, I don't think they're that well written. But I will give huge props to Team 4-Star here. And I briefly said this in the last stream, they made Dr. Gero a bumbling idiot, where he is putting all of his faith in the machines that he has created.
Correct.
In this scene, and at the very beginning of this episode, you see it happen, where Android 19 is getting his ass whooped by Goku. That's why he's constantly like, you hear the ow constantly. But for Gero, he's trying to find a way to make sure that he's still in control. So at the very beginning of this episode, you see Goku wailing on fucking 19, and Dr. Gero gives that monologue of like, I am in total control here. As soon as he gets my android stops fucking around, everything is going to turn around on you, and I will be laughing above all your dead corpses. Right. But because he's not that fucking smart, he fucking like has this huge monologue, and so here's 19 getting his ass whooped, and then it's like, hang on, fucking throw a punch. So that's why I like the writing in season 3. because you have these like moments where it's obviously the scenes played for jokes, but they're
Sure.
gonna try to write a decent story and have really good lines and a good scene with this because they've written it and it's really good.
In summation, they made them useful. The writing made them useful as opposed to and the funny thing is, canonically, they're not like this, I think is what you're getting at. And the fact that in my brain, this is canon, where 19's bumbling and 20, 19 is just a slave and 20 is this calm, cool, collected until he's stressed out, cranky old man. So
yes,
still don't like him, but they made them better. So kudos to Team
Absolutely.
4-Star. Yeah, still don't like them, but made them better.
Murder.exe fully online.
Oh,
Bully.
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 Didn't seem to work. Don't worry, guys. I'll try again. Double strength.
Goku, don't! They can absorb your energy!
Hold on a sec. Did you know?
Well, yeah, I felt it when the old man was holding me earlier.
Pause.
And you couldn't have said anything before because...
I
Hey,
was
give me a
almost
break.
dead.
I've already been through enough.
Like, not for nothing. Not for nothing. They mistreat Yamcha here because let's use some real world physics and just passage of time. Not even one episode ago, he got a fist in his chest. Pause. He literally got fisted in his chest, bleeding out, about to die. Krillin had to pick him up off the ground, fly him to the sensu beans. So I'm sorry. When would he have time to tell them when he just got there 10 seconds prior?
He wouldn't have, because even
Exactly.
if he had told Krillin, hey, whenever I got stabbed in the chest, whenever I got fisted in the chest, he was also draining my energy to where I was weak.
Correct.
By the time they get there to tell them, they all arrive at the same time.
Same time.
So it's kind of pointless for them to be like, you couldn't tell us that earlier? Really?
I was dying. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I had a hole in my chest and was trying to recover from dying.
Yes. Wade goes, he's learned so much about DBZ because of us. Says he's gained interest. Fun fact, he's never watched an episode of DBZ.
Oh, I'm so glad that we got you interested at the very least.
So here, one bad thing about this, Wade, is the fact that a lot of this show, Hokage and I have seen so many episodes, so many times, where we kind of forget what's actually canonical versus what's the parody. And I think a good many of Dragon Ball Z Abridged watchers and Team 4-Star fans would feel the same way. They won't know sometimes after a while, wait, is this canon? Or is this one of those Mandela effects? You know, similar to the Berenstain Bears. Wait a minute, were they always spelled this way? Were they Berenstain? Like that.
Yeah. One of the things that comes to mind, it's not exactly like something where fans will be like, wait, is this canon? Because it's obviously not. It's something that TFS made in the later episodes, which I won't spoil that much. I'll just give vague details. But we understand why 16 was created in TFS's version.
Correct.
In OG, there's no reason as to why 16 was ever made. But
see, now that's something I forgot. Because in my head canon, we know that that's Dr. Giroux's son. We know this. But in reality, that's never been proven, even in the Daizenshu. Or at least I don't think it's in the Daizenshu.
It was either in the Daizenshu or Toriyama said in an interview that Giroux based X16 off of his son.
That's why I referenced it as a sure, why not situation. It's similar to the MCU where that kid from Iron Man 2 has been retconned to be Peter Parker. It's like, sure, why not?
Oh, that kid. I
Crap
thought
today.
Yes. The little kid, not Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, the little kid in the Iron Man mask at the Stark Expo that Tony protects and says, good job, kid. Apparently, canonically, that is Peter Parker because that came directly from Feige's mouth.
fair enough.
If I wanted to be bitched at, I would have stayed with Bulma and the baby.
Yeah, guys, lay off him. He needs this like he needs a hole in the chest.
Huh?
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 I get it.
And he's got you.
Oh, hey. Can I have the energy back? Guys, I don't want to make a scene, but I'm pretty sure I'm dying.
What's going on? He hasn't used that much energy.
Go on, the sensu bean.
That also is an inside joke. That is also an inside joke.
It is, and I love this bit. It goes on for so long, and it's really good.
Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.
buddy.
Oh, God, it made it worse.
Goku, what's wrong?
Chest hurts. Hard to breathe.
How's your arm?
Dunno.
Can't feel it.
Is that normal?
So, Goku's having a heart attack.
Dad!
I have a question with this one, and it's me
All right.
being nitpicky.
Fair enough.
I was going to call him Kamikalo. Piccolo at this point, still Namekian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not of this world, correct?
Nope.
How does he know what a heart attack is?
And that is a good point. However,
I
would
know
like
the
to-
answer you're going to give me. It's because he overheard the conversation. But what does he think the physical attributes of a heart attack are? Why does he ask, how's your arm? Like,
No
he knows
idea.
Goku's supposed to have a heart attack because he overheard the conversation between Goku and Trunks.
Mhm.
But the symptoms, unless Piccolo, before all this went to WebMD, how would he know? Because he hasn't fused with Kami yet, so Kami wouldn't tell him.
Mhm. He doesn't have that wisdom yet.
Correct. And last I checked, Namekians, do they have hearts? How do they live? How do they breathe?
They have a different biology. But
Correct.
my counterpoint to this was because he had 3 years where he was training with Goku and Gohan. I feel like at some point during their training, because
This might have come
Piccolo-
up.
Yeah, this might have come up where it's like, I know your dad knows that he's gonna die of a heart attack, but I have a feeling that he's gonna be stupid enough to not take the medicine. So Gohan, you're a smart kid. Please tell me what should I ask or look for whenever he's having said heart attack, if worse comes to worse. That's my
Okay.
only
And my mo-
argument as to why he would know.
That's fair. And my only counter to that would be if they both, because you'll hear what Gohan says right now, which would maybe blow a hole into your theory because they're under the suspicion or they're under the impression that Goku took the medicine because, and I quote,
Is not on screen.
so again, oh, sorry, I just noticed it. My bad. My fault. You know who gets zapped with that a lot? Game Tracks. I was in his stream yesterday. He was streaming yesterday, and he did that a couple of times where he's playing the game, and we're hearing it, and we're hearing him, and then someone goes, no footage. Damn it.
Damn, you must be doing real good right now. Yeah, I am. Oh shit.
Can't see it. My bad.
Started to. What?
So again, shooting a hole in your theory because Gohan now asks.
Well, I mean, I started to.
Started to. What? You mean you stopped? Why did you stop?
Because it was great flavor!
So that means Gohan and Piccolo were under the assumption that Goku was taking the heart medicine so they didn't have to worry about him getting a heart attack.
Fair enough. But another counter, just a small one, because he said that he started to and then he stopped, they were dumb enough to trust Goku to be responsible.
Right.
So that's why Piccolo...
No, but again, that was why would Piccolo know what a heart attack symptom is? If he thinks Goku's been taking it, he doesn't have to ask, what's a heart attack symptom? We don't got to worry about it now because Goku's taking it.
He would ask for a worst case scenario. And if the medicine didn't work,
then they fucked up by believing Goku.
Exactly.
Instead of taking taking the precursor to actually figure it out on their end.
Yes.
Did he just knock the Super Saiyan out of him?
Correct.
Piccolo, tag in!
So this scene right there bothers me. Because it continues the narrative that Piccolo is useless. Because he got one-shotted.
Yeah.
And they try to cover it up.
This is the start of how Piccolo farms to look like the baddest motherfucker in the group, but then gets jobbed by every single threat that isn't every single
main character. Yeah.
Yeah. If he's not the main character, he gets his ass jumped. He
got bodied in the Frieza saga.
That is true because he fused with
Nail.
Thank you, with Nail, and stood up to Frieza in his second form. Then he transformed and got his ass whooped. Correct.
So he was R farming there because if you go back to season 2, he rushes on in there. We get the Magus theme from Chrono Trigger while he's R farming with the whimsical Chrono Trigger music in the background. So again, this perpetuates the narrative that Piccolo's just there to look cool.
Yeah.
Go
unfortunately.
On, tag in!
Well, boys, I can't say it hasn't been fun. In fact, if I still had a penis, it would be...
Whoa, 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 whoa.
See, this is why I believe that Jiro is also an idiot.
Because quite auspicious that we are wearing...
why would you mention this? Nobody needs to know this.
What? Why would you even remove your penis? But that's beside the point. We find out he keeps the androids anatomically correct. So why did you remove yours?
Better question. Why didn't you give yourself a better one?
Why didn't you give yourself a more youthful appearance? Why did you put yourself in this? At least Dr. Relo wanted a better body. What's your better question? Exactly. Wait, Ayo.
No, I'm just saying that's also a better question of if you made yourself an android body, why didn't you make yourself look younger?
Right. Unless the plan was to inevitably put himself in Android 16's body.
No. Why? Why would he do that?
Because he couldn't put himself in 17 and 18's body because they're going to die. So if 19 failed and he's running back to his lab right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is how I'm thinking. We haven't even got there yet. Let's let it play out.
Baggy pants. But enough about hypothetical erections.
Whoa.
19! Suck him dry!
Hey, yo.
No! Dad!
Does anyone else hear that?
Yeah, and it's getting closer.
And it sounds an awful lot like
Mine.
Mine.
And the prodigal asshole returns.
Mr. Piccolo!
I wanted to wait for an opening on the android, so I faked my injury. But
That's bullshit.
You would have done that earlier.
Piccolo, you're my favorite. You a G. You are my favorite character. But that is bullshit. You allowed yourself to get shot in the chest for a strategic advantage, to put the element of surprise. Doesn't he do something similar like that in the Frieza story in Resurrection F?
No.
In Resurrection F, he doesn't do something stupid like that?
Unless you're talking about when
he's fighting Ginyu in Resurrection F.
Oh, that's okay. That's in Super whenever they redid the movies. That's not the actual movie because Ginyu is not in actual Resurrection F movie.
Correct.
Which, by the way, I have no knowledge of because I skipped over those because it's retelling the same story that we've already seen in the movies, just with poor animation. So
correct.
But now he's here.
Wait, so you weren't actually wounded?
No, but I got a better question. Where was my sensu bean?
Sensu bean!
Hey, Vegeta.
Kakarot, you idiot. What are you doing?
Dying? Mostly. Little help. Thanks, best buddy. Come on, Dad. We'll get you home and give you the medicine.
No, let me do it. Let's be honest. If I stay, I'll probably just get in the way.
Yep.
Probably.
Yep.
No offense.
Why are you even here?
Even Gohan burns him. How you gonna let how old? 8-year-old still burn you?
9 or 10. I forget how old he is here, but he's older than 5.
Doink.
You know what? Have fun.
Wait a minute, hold on.
You know what?
What's Gohan looking at over here?
Oh my
Where's
god.
his eyeballs?
Oh my gosh.
What did they do with his eyeballs?
Nothing. That's what they did. Oh my gosh. Sorry about him. He's being Thor. But oh my god. Gohan's eyes are
non-existent.
Yes, they're almost non-existent. Like he's looking at nothing because he doesn't have any pupils.
This is the equivalent of the seizure procedure back in season 2, where Krillin looked up and got caught out there, but now Gohan got caught out there. The things you catch, man.
Have fun.
Primary threat escaping. 2 kilometers. 3 kilometers.
Excuse me, but your primary threat is right here.
Meh.
6 kilometers. 7 kilometers.
Am I being ignored? Don't mind him. He's programmed to only respond to my command. 19. Forget about Son Goku. We can finish him at our leisure.
At our leisure.
For now, focus on...
What was your name again?
Who are you again?
Scanning. Vegeta. Prince of all Saiyans.
Oh, of course. How could I forget? 19.
At least they're
Take
nice
care
enough
of
to give him
him.
his title.
Understood.
Say what?
I said at least they're nice enough to give him the title Prince of all Saiyans.
Well, because apparently number 19, Android 19, is the Wikipedia of Android. So Vegeta probably put that in the record books on purpose.
Fair enough.
Oh, this is precious.
Or because he said it so many times that they were just like, you know what? Put it in the fucking wiki. Go ahead.
I think that's the better answer because it would just be like, okay, we know his title because he says it every single 15 minutes.
Correct. Like we know.
Beat me with this automaton of fun.
Registering insult. Retort. You are short and your hairline is receding.
Ooh, scathing. Your confidence is noted, Vegeta. But Son Goku was able to achieve a form far beyond anything we'd ever seen before, and we still beat him. And 19 has extensive knowledge of all your techniques.
Oh, is that right?
Is that right?
Quite the cutting-edge piece of tech you got there. But I'm curious. Can it feel fear?
There we go.
Scanning. Processing. Results inconclusive.
Let's fix that, shall we?
Seriously!
What the fuck is Namek?
So real quick, I want to talk about Super Saiyan Vegeta.
Okay.
So they kept the not the idea. They kept the similar line of can an android feel fear? It's a little bit, they play it a little bit differently in TFS, but I think it's a little bit better here. For the line delivery is better here than it was in the original. However, even though I love TFS, I still think that OG Dragon Ball handled Vegeta's transformation far better, especially because we get the iconic Vegeta theme from Bruce Falconer.
Yes.
And it's so good.
The Vegeta's House Bell theme, yes.
Oh
no, it was the final it's the Final Flash theme, right?
Yes, the Final Flash one with yeah, where it repeats itself. And also, I love Vegeta so much that I even got a Funko Pop of him as Super Saiyan.
Very nice.
Like, I love Vegeta. Period.
But how? I thought you had to have a pure heart to become a Super Saiyan, like my dad.
Oh, trust me. There's more than one way to realize the legend.
I
wanna.
That is every single anime nerd culminated into one scene. Everybody who has seen Dragon Ball is like, I want to be a fucking Super Saiyan. It's either that or I want to fire a Kamehameha.
So the funny thing about that, for me, is that we know Vegeta the character. Canonically.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what he would have done if he's all alone in space anyway. Because canonically, they talk about, I didn't care if I became a Super Saiyan anymore. That's an actual shot from the anime. So it's not as if they just made that up. He was whining and complaining on that asteroid that he wasn't a Super Saiyan. He was frustrated. So all they did was just move it up to 9 on the decibel level. And it's the same exact thing, just a little more whiny.
Yeah. And what I find it a bit ironic that Vegeta's anger of not wanting to be a Super Saiyan anymore caused him to be a Super Saiyan.
Correct. It's the epitome of stop forcing it, it'll come to you. And then it came to you.
Exactly.
Push-ups, sit-ups, and plenty of juice. And besides, my heart is pure. Pure, unadulterated, badass.
Yeah, more like pure, unadulterated ego.
I heard that, Triclops!
Is that okay?
As a matter of fact, go f*** yourself. Now, where was I? What a shame. Looks like you just initiated your self-destruct sequence. Let me give you a countdown. 5.
I love this line after seeing this part.
Did I just see his foot?
Did I just see his foot?
Did you see his foot?
Well. Looks like I'm a size 19.
4. So have you rusted your pants yet? 3. Damn it! No, don't panic. Everything will turn out dandy as long as Android 19 can grab Vegeta and steal his energy.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure there was an advantage to building a fat robot, but for the life of me, I just don't see it.
Proximity breached. Trap.exe activated.
Yes, that's it, 19. Do not let go of him, no matter what. Drain him until he's a shriveled up prune of a corpse.
Parameters
Got it.
recognized. Grip locked.
Locked, huh? Well, guess I'm not going anywhere for a while.
I give Vegeta credit here.
How's about I get a workout in? That's right. I'm gonna do squats all over your face.
Pause.
Initiating. Energy. Drain.
Aw, how adorable. So you want my energy then? Tell you what. Take
Tell you
as
what.
much as you want. In exchange, I'll take your hands too.
Tell you what.
Error.
Oh,
So then, before I put down the clown, let's put it to bed, shall we? Do you feel fear, android?
No, please.
the Scooby-Doo run.
The Hanna-Barbera
Leave me
sound
alone.
effects.
All I
Yep.
needed to hear.
Wait.
All I needed to hear.
Okay, I just want to make sure he actually didn't have hands. I wanted
Yeah,
to
he
make sure they
doesn't.
didn't mistakenly animate him with hands while he was running away. Okay, good.
Yeah, he's Naruto running without hands.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
One. Big bang attack!
Bazinga!
No.
So do you know canonically in the sub, not the dub, the sub, is it called Big Bang Attack?
They say Big Bang Attack.
So it is Big Bang Attack. Why?
Exactly,
Why
Thor.
the
I don't know why
line?
either. A lot of Vegeta's attacks don't have very meaningful names because you have the Big Bang Attack. The only
The
one,
Gallic Gun,
yeah, the
Big
Gallic
Bang
Gun is
Attack,
eh, and then you have the Final Flash.
which is never final.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Your 30-day trial
Has expired. Would you like to?
purchase.
When? Roar.
Okay, kids.
never purchase Win Roar. Free trial for life.
I was gonna say, listen here, kids. WinRAR was the one program. You know the whole tip about making 4,000 emails just so you can get a free trial of something and
Mhm.
spamming it.
Yeah.
That was WinRAR. Oh yes, you're right, Wade. That is what the wrestler Keith Lee calls one of his moves. He calls it the Big Bang Attack, the Spirit Bomb. Yeah.
Okay, but Spirit Bomb makes a little bit more sense than Big Bang Attack.
Well, it did bang.
Yeah, it did make a big bang, but it's
So
a
there you
dumb
go.
name for a dumb attack.
All it really is when we go into Piccolo later in the season, was it the Hell Zone grenade or light grenade? That's all it really is. The light grenade or Yamcha Swukudan energy ball. That's it.
And Dog Biscuit.
And for those that don't know, the dog biscuit goes back to season 2, where Vegeta would throw dog treats at Goldo because he thought he was a dog.
Well, that
Or at
joke
least
has
he treats
taken
the dog.
but that joke has taken an extension of itself. Vegeta only throws dog treats to the
And fat
enemies that
people?
to the enemies he's beheaded.
Wait.
Because he's done it to Android 15 and Super Android 13 in the TFS movie.
Okay. Okay, we'll get there.
Now that we have Chuckles the ass clown out of the picture, how about we tend to the
See?
elderly?
Wade knows. Wade said it right. It's an attack that bangs big. Pause. It bangs big, baby.
You're just saying the attack name backwards at that point just to make it make sense.
The f we go! Whatever. Baldy, pass me a sensu bean.
What, do you think I'm just giving these away?
Because I'm
Because I'm not.
But you are.
I mean, are you not? Because it seems like you are. All right, I'm going to play this to start. I'm going to step away, but I'm going to let you handle things for a little bit, all right?
Sounds
I'll
good.
be right back.
This is the parody. By the fucking show.
When a goddamn Super Saiyan asks you for a sensu bean, bald man, you say, how many? Ah, that's better. Count yourselves lucky to be in the presence of a shining golden god such as myself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to go kill the other android. You peons may stay here and erect a statue in my honor.
Such an egotistical asshole.
Oh! Vegeta's a Super Saiyan!
Yeah, whatever. Did you catch the name of his attack, though?
I know, right? Big Bang Attack.
I don't know. This coming from Mr. Special Beam Cannon?
Hey, why don't you try coming up with a better name for an attack?
How about Devil Drill Beam?
What about Spiral Death Beam?
Doom Laser?
Rail Beam?
Nail Gun?
Shit, that's good.
That's good. I would like to think that Piccolo has made an attack for an gun.
So just because he's a machine, I can't feel his energy? That doesn't make any sense. Energy sensing's bullshit.
Everything is bullshit
Hey,
for you. Vegeta,
why you
whenever
hiding?
it doesn't
You
work for you.
scared because I blew up your friend? I'd call.
Just everything is bullshit for him. Whenever things don't go his way, whenever he's getting his ass kicked, everything's bullshit. But whenever it works in his favor, it's not bullshit. Because he's a prick. Listen, man, I'm a wrestling fan. Finishing move names make no sense at all. Fair enough. I give you that, Wade. Like I said, I've made it very clear on this channel and the show that I have very minute knowledge of wrestling info. And I know some of the names are a bit ridiculous and not all of them make sense. But in this series, some of the attacks names are kind of stupid. In instance, Vegeta's attack names, while some of them are cool, because I have bias towards the Final Flash, a lot of them they have stupid names. Outside of Piccolo's Hellzone Grenade and the Kamehameha. Those are cool ass names.
Call it your sex bot, but as you're currently demonstrating, you don't have any balls!
Yes, he's desperate to find me. I just have to wait him out.
Oh man, sure do feel winded after blowing up your robosexual life partner. Sure would suck if you jumped me and took my energy. Oh no, some dust in my eyes. This is the worst.
Really doing his best to put in a low amount of effort just to draw him out.
Oh god, no!
Very in character for him.
And now your energy is mine.
But that's exactly what I was planning on. I knew you couldn't resist jumping out to suckle on my Super Saiyan teat. And now you're mine.
God damn, Vegeta.
Wow, you ugly. Hey, get back here! I wasn't done!
Where's Gaming Checks when you need him?
This shit's getting really old. Now you get out here and fight me blindly like a man. Or Mandroid.
Mandroid.
Yes, you may be a Super Saiyan, Vegeta, but you're still just an arrogant.
I love
brat,
that.
aren't you?
This is another thing that I will give credit to TFS doing
Well,
whenever it comes to Dr. Gero. Even though he's a bumbling idiot, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, he's still a genius. to a certain degree. He's being tactical. He knows that. Well, I don't know if he knows exactly if they can sense energy, but he knows that he can hide because he's quick enough, thanks to Vegeta giving him some energy. He knows he can quickly outmaneuver them enough to where he can hide from everybody. Even though he's, like I said, a bumbling idiot, he's tactical. He's still somewhat smart.
I shall make my escape, and oh, they followed me. No matter, I'll just head the other way. And okay, fine. I'll just maneuver back where I came from. Why the hell is he even here?
Good question. Follow-up question:
age.
Why would you rush Krillin? You have data on him, and you just took not a shit ton, but a decent amount of energy from Super Saiyan Vegeta. You know how weak Krillin is. Why don't you go after him and, spoilers, do what you're going to do to Piccolo or just snap his neck? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, unfortunately, the innuendos and the sucking innuendos, Wade, they get worse later in the show. They're better well written, but the frequency of them gets worse.
I could use more greens in my diet.
All right, what about Regicide Blaster, Doomsday Crush, Anarchy Barrage, Taco Tuesday, Hellzone Grenade?
I like that name.
Screw you, I'm keeping that one.
A is a badass name for an attack.
I'm gonna leave you two alone for now.
Oh, don't struggle. Just lie back and think of Namek.
I like that he references that, but still has no idea what the fuck Namek is. He just uses it because he remembers, oh, they were talking about, everything like Super Saiyan happened on Namek. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I think it has some significance to everybody who's trying to kill my ass right now.
You hear me? Oh god, this feels amazing. First thing I'm gonna do when I get home is step in front of a full-length mirror, strip down, turn Super Saiyan, and go on.
God damn it, Vegeta!
Cat loves food.
Stop! Stop! Too much. There's too much.
Yeah,
Stop
yeah,
it.
yeah. Cat loves.
You heard nothing.
Damn it! Gohan, this old man's got me from behind. You have to.
Oh my.
Seriously, how do people keep getting on this line?
The magical being that he is.
No! My head cylinder!
Gohan, how did you?
You two were hanging in the middle of the air. How could I not see you?
Don't you sass me. Well, look who
He's just upset that he was right. It's like, I could see you in the fucking air. How could I not see you?
I heard what you were saying, and there's a few things that I do agree with. One of them being, why didn't he attack Krillin or Gohan or even Tien when they were all looking for him? My thought process would be that the energy absorption that they would get from any of those three would not be enough to beat Vegeta.
That is a good point, but what my thought process is, he's just trying to escape, like very, like under the radar, so he can go to his lab to get 16 and 17 and 18. My thought process is that even though he sees everybody surrounding one, why didn't he pick off the weakest one, kill him or drain his energy, and then just quickly run away so he can go to his lab?
Because it wouldn't give him enough power to run away. He would have, that's why he's saying to avoid Vegeta, he would have to probably suck off Piccolo to have enough energy to get away. Because if he beats up Krillin, Gohan, or Tien, the noise they'll make when they die or the battle themselves, all it will do. Okay, so logically speaking, whenever we watch this, we talk about the show. you can sense when someone's getting their energy drained in this show, canonically. My one question is, why does no one feel Piccolo's energy draining when why does he need telekinesis or telepathy?
It's a good question, but in this version, it's because at least Vegeta and Tien, they're all just in their own mind, just doing their own shit. While as Krillin and Gohan, they're just like, where the fuck are they?
Finally installed a pair.
Well, this is a little awkward. Maybe we could have a little dialogue and work this out.
No.
Okay. No. Then how about I fight the bald one first?
Anytime, old man.
No, that one.
I'm opt out.
How about this one?
Oh, please.
So again, the Krillin's the strongest human, but yet Tien's the most bravest. He's like, fuck it, I'll throw hands.
Yeah, because out of them, the actual humans, he's the only one that's there for the smoke. Krillin is not.
No, he's just there for moral support. That's it. But basically, also, okay, I think I brought this question up before. Do we count Tien as a human because he has 3 eyes?
I count him as a human. He just has a defect. I don't know.
What humans you know have 3 eyes? I can say the same thing for Krillin. Krillin doesn't even have a nose. He's not human either. The only pure human we got here is Yamcha amongst the core group, because Chaozu's telepathic demon potentially.
He is something. He is an entity.
He's an entity, exactly. Yeah, see, Wei said it. So much smoke and suck. Because they do suck.
A lot.
As if you're in any condition to fight me.
Krillin? Senzu bean.
Senzu bean.
Call me the can opener, because I'm about to bust open your metal ass.
Yeah, how about you just leave the one-liners to me? Besides, the old man is mine, Namekian.
I just figured you wouldn't want to sully your Super Saiyan hands on such a weak opponent.
You know, the funny thing is, I know you're playing me.
But you're right.
But you're right.
He's all yours.
He's all yours.
Ah, yes.
I love that joke makes a comeback later in the show.
I've already consumed enough energy from him to match him twice.
So the funny part about this scene right here for me is that that scene is part of the commercial break for Toonami Dragon Ball Z of this season. They showed this specific scene actually in the intro to the season.
That's funny. So as soon as you watch a new episode of Dragon Ball on Toonami for the Cell Saga, one of the scenes you see is Piccolo kicking Dr. Zero into a mountain.
Correct. And in one of the commercials, it's Piccolo elbowing Jiro, which you'll see shortly.
That's so awesome.
Piccolo got his one highlight. His one highlight this season. It's like watching a movie trailer and then realizing the action you're seeing is all trailer and no substance.
Like the sequels for the Star Wars movies.
We're not talking about that.
Oh my God, Chaozu's dead, and he really let himself go. And he's an android. That's not Chaozu. Oh, crap baskets.
There's a long list of bad ideas, and this
is a bad idea.
You know that, right?
Yes.
I absolutely refuse to sit around and not be part of the action anymore.
Why? Why?
You're a smart guy. You're a logical guy. Wade's logical. I'm somewhat logical. Explain to me why you would not even just take yourself as a non-fighter, take your baby into a war zone. And your reasoning was, well, I'm tired of being left behind. I never saw Frieza. Granted, she becomes valuable a little later this episode. So her being there matters. We don't know that yet. But up to this, Thor, I hear you. I understand. Logically speaking, this was dumb. This was dumb.
Absolutely. And another point to this. If I were in Bulma's shoes, like say I was smart enough to leave my kid at home with my grandparents or my partner, and I still choose to go see the action of like the androids fighting with the Z fighters. My only logical explanation as to why I would want to see that happen was so I could get data on the fight. But there's no reason for Bulma to go to the fight. She's not going to gather data. She's not going to gain data from this fight at all, or get the cybernetics or like mechanical stuff from the cyborgs from this. She just wants to go so she can see the fight. There's no reason for her to be there, let alone bring the future hope in the battlefield.
Correct.
I know Thor is even upset about this.
Oh yeah, no, look. Wade's dog Rhea says it's dumb. She agrees with Thor.
See? Everybody in watching this stream and is in the show right now agrees that what Bulma is doing right now is
Fucking
probably one
idiotic.
of the dumbest decisions ever made.
Idiotic. Moron. Idiot. Dumbass.
Thank you.
And just be and you want to know why she thinks she can get away with it? Tell me, Shane. Why do you think she can get away with it? What? Go ahead.
Because of the Dragon Balls. That's
no,
why.
not that. Not that. What was I watching earlier today? What was I watching? The show I was watching.
So she has privilege. That's what you're trying to say.
Bingo. She's the richest woman in the world. She's a genius. And she has white privilege.
Yeah. But another caveat.
She thinks she's on the team. Exactly.
Yeah, basically. She thinks that she is a part of the team. She is, at the very least, technical support. That's it.
That's all she is. Going back to the original Dragon Ball, she's just tech support. She never gets into a fight. She just has the Dragon Radar, like you said, capsules, and she makes sure no one's in poverty on the team.
And she also gave birth to the coolest Saiyan, half-breed Saiyan.
And she makes us a time machine.
Yeah, that's it. Also, I'm going to try to keep him here and try to calm him down a little bit because he's very needy right now. So,
like Bulma.
Cat cameo.
Needy.
Do you know I never even saw Frieza? Not once.
I'm pretty sure no one ever complained about not meeting Hitler. I mean, some people do, but they're weird.
This isn't up for debate.
You know your kid is in the plane, right?
Oh, he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think that's the point. Also, he keeps
see, Yajirobe is the voice of reason here. That's not the point. You're bringing your baby to a war zone, you fucking idiot. Just because you want to see the bad guy.
He doesn't know what's going on. That's not the point. You're bringing him, like you said, to a war zone where you could possibly get blown up along with him by just being there.
Idiot.
Trying to feed off me.
Don't worry. He'll give it up when he realizes it's a dry well.
Yeah, about that. Have you ever seen what an old senzu bean diet does?
By the way, do you hear what's in the background?
It's Toma already got the Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
To a man.
What?
Corn likes it.
Ew.
See, the one Piccolo highlight this season.
Okay, first. What? Second?
The fuck?
You know, I did spend 3 years training with Goku.
Oh, so what? Are you a Super Saiyan now, too?
Well, more of a Super Namekian, I guess.
Wait, I thought you were a demon.
Nope. Slugman.
Wow, that's significantly more mundane.
I know.
Okay, so here's my problem. I got a continuity problem. Maybe you can solve it. Giro talks about he has data on everybody leading up to the Saiyan saga, right? And that the bugs were destroyed in the Saiyan arc. We find out in the Saiyan saga that Piccolo's Namekian directly from Nappa and Vegeta. So wouldn't that make the data?
Yeah, wouldn't that make it to where he's not, where they would have corrected that he is a slugman and not a demon?
Correct. Or at the very least, why is he saying what's Namek if we mentioned that Piccolo's Namekian during the Saiyan saga?
My only logical, I'm going to be using that because you said that now. My only logical explanation is that they heard the term Namekian being called, they heard Vegeta and Nappa call Piccolo Namekian, and they thought, oh, they finally have his name for the species. They didn't divulge into what a Namekian actually was. They just heard the name and labeled him as that. They still thought that he was a demon king.
No, but that's my question. That's my question. If he knows he's from Namek, or if he knows that he's being called a Namekian going back to the Saiyan arc, why is he confused about what's Namek? If you're looking at a Namekian based on your data, you would know what Namek is because he's Namekian. Just like I'm an Earthling, I would be on Earth. So if I'm Namekian, wouldn't I be on Namek?
That is true. Ooh, sorry. He's being wild right now. I'm just under okay. I'm just under the idea is that they didn't divulge into what Namek was, and they just gave him that label and didn't do any more research. That's it.
In my estimation, that's a DBZA plot hole.
A pretty damning one too.
By the way, what's that brain case made out of?
Oh, well, it's a polycarbonate thermoplastic laminated.
That part, that's on the commercial break.
Anyone else feel like we overtrained for this?
Tell me about it.
No, shut up.
Oh, never mind.
You know, I never understood why you would even bother installing pain receptors. Kind of comes off as an intentional design flaw, if you ask me.
Don't you criticize my methods like you understand the neural system. Pain is imperative to recognize when you're on peril, to give the human mind context.
So also, logically speaking, if I go all the way back to Yu Yu Hakusho, that's why the doctor, if you remember the Sensui arc, is able to turn off all his nerve and pain receptors and move and also Taguro moving his organs around. That's why you're able to turn off your pain receptors and you can fight to your heart's content because you can't feel the pain. And thusly, to that effect, you don't feel fear. So when Vegeta asks Android 19, do you feel fear? Yes, because they feel pain. So by proxy, pain equates to fear.
Another good comparison, because I'm also thinking of like other branches of media that use this same idea. Metal Gear Rising, or Metal Gear Revengeance Rising, or whatever, I forget what the name was, but Raiden. In that game, he has pain receptors, but he has them turned off so he doesn't feel pain while he's fighting. He turns them on to feel pain and be more menacing and bring out his alter ego. So it's a good reverse of that idea where you can have pain receptors, but you have the option to either turn them on or off.
Yeah.
The better choice would be to turn them off when you're in an intense fight. That way, you don't feel pain, and you can still
Keep
do more
fighting.
damage and keep fighting.
Actually speaking,
How fucked
how
are you?
are you?
You lime-colored son of a bitch! It's going to take me at least 2 hours to program a new
Like,
hand.
oh wait,
No, wait.
that's my right hand.
I'm right-handed. 3 hours.
3 hours.
You miserable reprobates! What have I ever done to you?
Pretty sure you vaporized half a city.
I meant recently.
That was an hour ago.
Semantics.
I'm sorry I'm late. The time machine's a little imprecise in terms of hours, and what the hell is that thing?
Trunks? What are you doing here? Ha! That's a girl's name. Wait, isn't that the name of your kid?
What, are you trying to imply that this wannabe Super Saiyan from the future is my son?
Oh.
Well, guess that cat's out of the bag. But seriously, what is that?
That's the android.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
is it?
Yes, it is.
No,
It's not.
Yes, I am.
You stay out of this.
Wait, so you're saying that that's not the android that kills us?
No, I don't even.
But you said 2 androids, right?
And we've been
Right.
fighting too.
Yes, I.
Technically, you haven't been fighting anything. KTN, you ain't been doing shit. The only people that
You just-
fought were Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, and maybe Yamcha for a split second.
Everybody else is just standing around and watching people do shit.
We do that a lot.
But
Said
real quick,
two, but that's
before
not-
we start divulging into the scene, this is the breaking point of where we see, if not this point, then later in the show, the breaking point of where Trunks is supposed to be this like grand hero, like he was at the very beginning, but he's starting to slip. Everything around
This is
him
the
is starting to
de-evolution of
fall.
Trunks. Correct. This is
Yes.
the de-evolution of Trunks.
Where he thought he was in control, where he thought that everything that he was
was the
told by
drink.
Bulma, he thought he was the drink, but he's not the drink yet. But everything
He's the
around him
drain.
is everything is slipping and crumbling around him, and this is the tipping point of like, this wasn't supposed to happen. These are the androids that were supposed to kill y'all. I don't even know what the fuck is going on here.
This
So-
also proves that he's Vegeta's son.
Absolutely.
Because he was overconfident, and then when his reality is crushed, he reverts to just being sad. And in this case, it's not a mental sad; it's just, oh, you're just sad, bro. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Out of the bag. But seriously, what is that?
That's the android.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, I am.
You stay out
You
of
stay out of
this.
this.
Wait, so you're saying that that's not the android that kills us?
No, I don't even.
But you said 2 androids, right?
And we've been fighting too.
Yes, I said 2, but that's not,
Not
one of them.
Why didn't you tell us what they looked like then?
I
Because
only
I
ever
only
met
met
the
the
two.
two.
Well, look at that. So did we.
So did we.
All of them are right. Everyone is right in this situation. This is like a who's on first, but they're all right.
That's not the
That's
android
a
that kills us.
great
No,
way to
I
compare
don't
it
even-
to.
But you said 2 androids, right?
And
Yes.
we've been fighting. that
Again, go
kills us.
back.
You stay out of this. No, it's not. It's out of the bag. But seriously, what is that?
That's the android.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yes, I am.
You stay out of this.
Wait, so you're saying that that's not the android that kills us?
No, I don't even.
But
An
you
android. That's not the android.
said
Yeah.
2 androids, right?
And we've been fighting too.
Yes, I said 2, but that's not one of them.
Why didn't you tell us what they looked like then?
I only ever met the 2.
Well, look
Well,
at
look
that.
at
So did we.
Hey guys!
And now the woman's here.
Mama, no! Did she bring me?
And there's my door.
Windscar, Spirit Gun, Bankai, Rasengan, Gum Gum Pistol. That sounds
That sounds dirty.
So, 2 things. One,
Yes.
the attack names that Piccolo is running off in his head with Nail are all super moves from other animes.
Correct.
The Rasengan from Naruto, Spirit Gun from
Bankai.
Yu Yu Hakusho, and Bankai from Bleach.
And the Dum Rocket Punch or whatever that was, that's from One Piece.
Gum Pistol.
Whatever.
Yeah, mid-piece. And the second thing, we harped on it literally just a few minutes ago. Bulma brought Trunks to the fight and was nearly blown up. The main reason why she should not have done this in the first place. Why did she think that that was a good idea?
I'm gonna use one of your reasonings. She's overconfident. One, privilege, but two, because as she mentions earlier this season, I have Goku on speed dial. So if you're gonna try to blow the earth up, I'll just give him a call. So because it's like that friend at the bar who's like, yeah, you better run, when they're not the person that's gonna be doing the fighting.
Nope.
They're gonna be doing the fighting. You just talking a lot of shit, which happens in Resurrection F when she starts popping off to Frieza, and they're like, Gohan can't kill Frieza. Knock that off. So that's another thing. Also, maybe a small sliver. She's never been wished back with the Dragon Balls. So if she dies, I'll be brought back to life.
That is true.
Yajirobe hasn't died. Trunks hasn't died, nor her. So, playing with house money.
Fair. And I do have a what if question.
Sure.
So, say Dr. Zero actually does blow up Bulma, Yajirobe, and Baby Trunks. If the Dragon Balls didn't exist in this universe,
okay,
would future Trunks be killed off, as in like non-existent, or would he still be there?
He'd still be there. Multiverse
because
theory, he'd still be there.
Fair enough. I just figured I ask.
Even when we go back to the Boo Bits and future Goten doesn't exist because Goku gets kicked in the nuts. Goten hasn't been not Boo Bits. Super Android 13. When Goku gets punched in the dick, they fast forward to the Boo Saga where Gohan and Trunks are doing the rock throw, and then Goten disappears from all of existence. It's because he hasn't been born yet. That's why canonically he's not born yet.
That's fair. But I was just trying to bring up that question because in this version, yes, there is that multiverse theory. And I think I was also going to broke my own theory because even in canon, multiverse theory still exists. Because when Trunks comes to the past to save everybody from Frieza,
it deviates the main timeline.
Well, no, it doesn't deviate the main timeline. It deviates an alternate timeline. The timeline that Trunks comes from is the main Dragon Ball timeline. The only so whenever he goes back into the past, he's not only going back in time, but he's stepping out of his own universe to go into a different universe before Goku died, and
thusly creating a universe.
Yes. So my theory just went out the window of like, if he died as a kid, would he disappear? No,
well, it's like in Avengers Endgame where they say, hey, let's go back in the past and kill Thanos. They're like, wait, that's not how it works.
Which I know we have an idea, thanks to Back to the Future, of like how time travel works, but that only in cinema like logic ways. But MCU's version of time travel, while it's not clear cut, it made time travel a lot more confusing. In my opinion.
My only defense of Back to the Future is that Marty's not born yet. It goes back to the Goten thing. Goku gets hit in the dick. His dick doesn't work. Can't make Goten. So, because he's not born, he's not even conceived yet. So Marty's not even conceived yet. So now, if we're using the Dragon Ball methodology with Back to the Future, I get what you're saying. This came out before multiverse theory. So the thought process back then was if Marty goes back in time before he's born and his parents don't get together, he's never born in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's not discussing multiverse theory. They're going by the old school adage, and the only way that tracks is because he wasn't born yet. What Trunks forgot to do, which we're talking about now, when he goes back and gives Goku the medicine, that branches off the main timeline because Goku's supposed to die. Everyone's supposed to die. He wasn't born yet. So he actively affects the future, just not his future, as we're discussing here in Dragon Ball. It's no longer, oh, if I stop my dad from dying now, he's still going to knock up Bulma before he dies. So it doesn't matter. So multiverse theory is a bitch, as we find out later on in this series.
Yep.
But we're going to call it here, folks. We're going to leave it on that note. Thank you for tuning in on the Retro Cartoon Rewatch while we've been enjoying Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Shout out to Team 4-Star. Go check them out. Go check them out on www.team4star.com or 4-Star Bento or Team 4-Star on YouTube. Find me on social media at Damien G Show or the Damien Gracia, where you can, people have been doing it for me. Thank you to Cam and other people who have been making clips for me to put on my page. So I'll get on that shortly, probably this week. But again, if you want to reach out, Damien G Show across the board. If you have a paid request you want to make, same thing, Damien G Show across the board. Where can people find you, Hokage?
You can find me on Instagram at Hokage.22, and you can also find me on Twitch at just Hokage22. And I'm trying to work on a Twitter. No promises because Twitter's a dumpster fire. So,
yeah, it's Twitter.
But
I've been on Twitter for like a decade. I understand.
But those are the main two places where you can follow me. Again, Hokage.22 on Instagram and Hokage22 on Twitch.
There you go. And on that note, kids, we'll see you later on this week. Go and check out Big Gold Belt Media this week. I have a couple of things dropping later on this week. And also, later this week, you and I are actually going to do a redo. We're going to have a live discussion about Mission Impossible. Now that I'll be seeing it. So we're going to have a live discussion so I can talk about it now in person and not in hearsay. So later on this week, we'll be doing a live discussion about the new Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which mixed opinions on, which we'll talk about on the channel, either on twitch.tv or here at youtube.com/DamonG Reviews. On that note, we'll catch you on the next stream.